Somewhat of an interesting topic to start today's video because I've been getting some comments saying, you know, to grow your channel, you're gonna have to show off your physique. We see you doing all these videos, making all these recipes, but it doesn't really mean anything if you're a fatty, you know. And I started to think about it. I was like, you know, I don't really feel comfortable taking my shirt off on camera. I don't know who's watching these videos, and it's just weird to me. But then I started thinking, you know, do I need to swallow my pride to help my channel out? And maybe I need to do that, guys. Maybe I need to do that for you. Maybe I owe it to you for watching all these videos, and some of you might be curious. So I'm gonna do some shirtless posing for you, but keep in mind I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't really know the poses exactly. So leave in the comments below if I'm doing some of them wrong or something I can improve on. Let me just set the camera down here real quick so I can do this. Alright, so I guess the first one you do is to the front, and you just do, I don't even know what this is called, you just flex. Is that how it works? And I think you go to the side and do the tricep one. Is that how? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know, like I said. Then I think you do another turn to the back to show off your back. And then, do they still do the vacuum thing? Is that cool still? I don't know. Gosh, this is a workout, guys. This is my cardio for the day. I hope that answers some questions, guys. I really had to get outside my comfort zone for that one. So hopefully you appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. So another question that I often get is, do I have a six-pack? Because you guys see me eating all this food, so it's a fair question, right? I mean, anyone can eat a ton of food. You see carbs at night, but do I actually have the physique to show for it? And the answer kind of depends on the season. So if it's football season, the answer is always going to be yes. I just feel like it's part of it. It's necessary. Sometimes in the winter months during NBA season, I won't, but it just kind of depends. I try to keep a six-pack at all times. The only thing about me is, like a lot of people, it's really dependent on lighting. So I have found the half natty lighting, guys. I found the one spot where my six-pack just really shines. So the best lighting in the house I have been able to find, let me bring you guys over here and show it to you, is right here. So this is where my six-pack is really gonna come through. You'll see football season is in, so I always have a six-pack, but like I mentioned, sometimes I'll only have a three-pack or a four-pack. It's just hard to say, guys. So I hope that answers your questions and clarifies things, and hopefully you guys do not look down upon me for it. So do any of you guys have that mentality where it's like, oh, that'll never happen to me? Because I know I get pretty bad about that sometimes. And everyone was telling me that low bar squatting was going to take a whole lot of shoulder mobility and it's going to hurt for the first few weeks, maybe the first month. And I was just like, no, I'll be fine. It's not that much of a difference from high bar. And I was very wrong, as you saw me rolling out my lat there, because it has been a huge problem area. The week before this, I wasn't even able to complete my low bar squat workout because it just hurt so bad, so I had to convert back to high bar, which wasn't a huge issue, but it's something that I want to address. And as I was moving, I wasn't doing any mobility whatsoever, and even now that I'm settled in for a few days, I haven't gotten back to it, so I need to get back in the habit. And it's funny because John is not a huge proponent of mobility. There's not a whole lot of data and research behind it, so I'll give him that. But for someone like me, it really does make me feel better, and I feel like I perform better when I do at least, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes every night. Especially because I'm getting old, guys. I mean, I'm not Brandon Campbell, but I've got some gray hair coming in, as someone pointed out in one of my videos, which was awesome. So don't hate on the gray hair. It's my only hope of picking up these cougars, guys. I'm loving it. So anyway, I'm getting old. I need to do mobility work, and it's something that I really need to address on my upper body, because when I switch to low bar squats, I haven't really noticed a difference at all in lower body, and it's just getting my shoulders in the right position. It feels like the bar is pinching them down, so something I need to work on. I know it's gonna get better. I just need to stick with it, because I do prefer, well, I don't want to go as far to say I prefer the low bar squatting. I feel more powerful. I prefer being in a deeper squat like the high bar squat, which you're gonna see here as I'm doing some pause squats, a pause squat variation. Omar just released a video on CAT training, and John has me doing that as well. I joked in the comment section saying it must be a Canadian thing, but this was the first set I did, and I wore my belt, and you're gonna notice, well, you probably can't see here, but my face is so red I'm about to pop, guys. I mean, when you have a 5-second drop on a squat, your core is just pressing up against that thing, and it's
pretty painful. So what I decided to do in the next set was just ditch the belt, and I did have to bump the weight down a little bit because the percentage of my 1 rep max I'm working off of is using a belt, so obviously without it, it's going to be a little less. But when I did take the belt off and lowered the weight, it just felt so much better. The best comparison I can give you is think of when you were a kid and you would have these contests in the pool with your friends as to who could hold their breath the longest, and by the time you were down there for like 30 or 35 seconds, you're ready to just pass over and die, but you wouldn't come up because you had to beat your friend. Well, that's how it felt when I was wearing the belt. And maybe it's because I'm breathing incorrectly. I usually take a big breath into my stomach and then release it when I get to the top. And maybe that's a topic for another video, so I'll save that one. But if you guys have any suggestions, leave them below. And after that, I moved on to the GHR, and I know I already mentioned Grandpa Campbell in this video, but this is actually something I got off him, so you will see that my hands are on my hamstrings, and it's not because I just love groping myself, which I do, but this is probably the best cue that I've found to make sure you're using your hamstring and your glutes. Something else that I've really been keeping in the back of my mind is John sent me an email saying to take out the hip movement. So try not to just push yourself back with your hips and keep the constant tension on your hamstrings. So that's something else that's helped me. If you guys have any cues, feel free to share them. And then in the final clip, you know I gotta throw some funny stuff in here. But if you're new to the channel, you might not have seen these before. I had them 2 or 3 phases ago, but not the last few phases, I don't think. These are called the triple threat. And you're supposed to do them on an exercise ball, but this gym does not even have one, which probably means it's a pretty good gym. Sorry, John. But I just can never imagine another instance in my life when I would need an exercise ball and not have one, except for when John puts this and then the next exercise in my program. So I still feel funny about doing these. I mean, look at me, I look ridiculous. Luckily, the gym is pretty empty, although I am putting this on the internet for, I don't know, 6-7 people who watch me to see. But I'm just going to keep humping the air. I really don't know what to say about this. My guess is unless you're a Strength Guys athlete, then you have never done these. I would hope if you do these, it's probably not for the purpose that I'm doing them. So I'm just going to keep humping away here, and then you're going to notice in the next clip I'm doing the stir the pot, which you're also supposed to use the exercise ball for. And this was even more challenging than the triple threats because it just wasn't rolling around. So I probably need to figure out a little bit better of a solution, but it did its job there. So that's going to be the workout clips. Please like the video if you enjoy it. I would really appreciate that, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.
You guys want to know one of my biggest pet peeves in life? Low-calorie bread. It drives me nuts. Look at this. This, 80 calories per slice. They market it as healthy or whatever. It's like half a slice of bread. I don't understand. If I wanted less calories in my bread, I would just eat 1 slice instead of 2 or whatever. This drives me nuts, guys. I picked it up because it was on sale. But man, I feel like I'm getting gypped. Look at this little baby bread. It's like... So which one of you are gonna go on top of my baby bread? I don't know. This is a really good problem to have right now. Which one would you guys choose? Leave in the comments below. But if you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you've got to be thinking, knowing how indecisive I am, that the chances I only choose one of these are very slim. There are a lot of brands of mini donuts out there, guys, but I can assure you that Tasty Cake is better than all of them. Actually, I know I've said this before, but anything Tasty Cake brand will amaze you. Just trust me. If you see it at the store, pick it up and thank me later.
I'm so crazy about you, and I can't let you go. You're beautiful. I'm so crazy.
So I don't think that anyone is surprised by this, right? So on the rice cake, I decided to go with the Trader Joe's cookie butter, and then I decided to make some s'mores toast. So obviously I used the s'mores Jif whips and some fluff. Look at that, guys. That just looks so artsy and so delicious. Cannot wait to eat that. And of course got the 4 donuts. So now that I'm getting low on this stuff, I can move on to the Peanut Butter and Company peanut butter that was sent to me. So I'm really excited about that. And it's funny because everyone asks me, or like when you have to do some like random thing about you when you're at a new job or a new class or whatever, and like, what are you good at? And I can never think of anything. I finally got something now, guys. I'm good at finishing off my macros. How awesome is that? It's just a life skill that everyone should have.